Hi, I'm Chris Knowles, and I'm here with Republican candidate Will Campbell. He's running for Texas House District 109, is that correct?
Yep, District 109.
And who is also one of our veterans. And brother, thank you
Yes,
again
sir.
so much
I appreciate
for your
it.
service. And matter of fact, I'm again a little, I want to say prejudiced whenever it comes to our military because I come from a military family. So could you kind of give us a little bit of a backdrop on that and kind of let everybody know kind of who you are and where you came from, and let them get familiar with you.
Yeah. So I grew up, I was born actually on the island of Galveston, down in South Texas. Grew up in and around Houston, Spring, Tomball area down there. We ended up moving to Beaumont, lived a little bit in a little town called Wimberley, just outside of Austin. Lived in Lake Travis for a little bit, but we ended up, my high school years were in Wimberley. So I graduated from there. From there, that was post 9/11. Iraq had just started, and I just felt the call to service, and so I wanted to go and fight, and so I joined the Marine Corps. In the Marine Corps, I went infantry. They tried to get me to go intel because of my ASVAB score and all that stuff, but I didn't want that. I wanted to go and hunt bad guys and pull triggers. And so that's what I did, and served for 10 years in the infantry. Went to Iraq and Afghanistan. I was in Operation Phantom Fury, the invasion of the city of Fallujah. We then did Operation Mountain Lion, so you might be familiar with Marcus Luttrell. When his team got hit out there shortly after that, because there was a whole group of them up in the mountains there. Our operation was to do shaping operations to force them on the one location, and then we did a massive airborne operation to go into the mountains there and push them all out. That was Operation Mountain Lion in 2006. Did several other things. I've trained about 1,600 Marines, about 600 or so foreign law enforcement and military, and infantry tactics, techniques, and procedures. That's kind of where I started my teaching in my life and my passion and love for teaching. But ended up injuring both my hips throughout all that wild and craziness. That's what ended with my medical discharge, honorable discharge, of course. But so from there, I had to figure out life, figure out what to do. I was married, had 4 babies at that time. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, and had to figure out what to do. So we ended up. I was stationed in California. That's where I met my wife. We lived up there, and I got to experience the wonderful world of red flagging. So in that time, PTS was a big thing. I don't say PTSD because it's not a disorder. It's handling stress. There's disorders that come from it, right? That's a whole other subject. But so from all that, couldn't find work. I was just going to college. I was getting my degree in business management at the time. Trying to find work out there was impossible. So eventually I always joke around and say my wife saw the light to move to Texas, so we moved back here.
It is the promised land, by the way.
Yes,
so you know.
yes, it is. And so we moved back up here, had an investment from my time on active duty that came back well, so I started my own business, gave that a go while I was attending Dallas Baptist University. And then fortunately couldn't get past that first year, right? Hey, lots of lessons learned, but man, it was a great experience. So I ended up going into the plumbing trade as a plumber's apprentice. Did that for a little while, went from being a plumber's apprentice to a server on the service side of the house. And then from there, ended up becoming a project manager, working on our glass and glazing side of the house, and just got to know basically the whole world of construction during that time. So in that time, I'm getting $17 an hour, taking care of my wife and 4 kids, and just living out that experience, dealing with rent and all that kind of stuff. So I've been there, done that. Ended up completing my degree programs and doing all that stuff, and I actually got hired to go and be a facilities manager for a nationwide hotelier. So I ended up going from doing that to running 400 locations nationwide for facilities management, having 6 regional managers under my charge, just multitudes of property maintenance guys, and running that whole program. So I got into the world of facilities management, ended up really enjoying it. Then from there was the lockdowns during COVID, and so that hit us hard, and because of those lockdowns, I got let go with another 100 people from the corporate office. So couldn't find a job, so I started my own again. Started doing contract work for just like remodels and renovations and things of that nature. And then ended up getting hired on with the company I'm with right now as a VP of operations, running the company. We started with 6 people about 6 years, going on 7 years ago now. And I think we're about to breach, I think we're close to 40 employees now. Nice. Really have grown a lot. It's been great working with everybody, doing software development, working with universities and cities to take care of their facilities and their assets. And so I consult with them. I create software to help them get all that under control and managing the teams in the company and doing all that. So that's me in a nutshell. It's a very big nutshell, but it's a
Well,
nutshell.
but it sounds